What's happening, everybody? It's Sean with reactions to the classics, and today we got a reaction to Anathema and their album Weather Systems, brought to us by our friend, longtime supporter and patron of the channel, Joseph. Thank you, Joseph. Always appreciate you. Appreciate all the patrons who make this thing go. If you'd like to support us in any way, check out the Patreon link below or the patron link on the end screen. We've done one song reaction, I think, or song battle that had Anathema in it, but that is it. So I don't know any of their stuff. So let's get into the quick facts briefly. Anathema were an English rock band from Liverpool. They were formed in 1990 by Vincent and Daniel Kavanagh, bassist Jamie Kavanagh, drummer, keyboardist John Douglas, and vocalist Darren White. They released 11 studio albums. Weather Systems is their ninth, released in April of 2012, 50 in the UK, didn't chart in the US. The band describes the album as, quote, not background music for parties. The music is written to deeply move the listener. It's recorded in Liverpool, North Wales, and Oslo. Each place significant to Anathema's past, present, and future. The record was produced by band members Vincent Kavanagh and Daniel Kavanagh, as well as Christer Andre Cederberg. Recorded and released between the departure of Les Smith and the full-time joining of live member Daniel Cardoso. It's the first album of the band to not feature a full-time keyboardist since Judgment in 1999. Instead, keyboard duties were shared between Vincent and Daniel Kavanagh and drummer John Douglas. On future albums, Cardoso would replace Douglas as the band's primary keyboardist. All tracks are written by Daniel Kavanagh, except The Storm Before the Calm, which was written by John Douglas. I will let you know who the lead vocalists are on all of these. Don't have a ton of research on this. There's not a lot of stuff out here on this one, but as a reminder, the music will not be in the video, but it will be in a Vimeo link below. It's a long album, but it only has 9 songs. So thanks again, Joseph. Let's dig in. We got the first track, Untouchable Part 1. It's the only track I have real information on. Lead vocalist Vincent Kavanagh and Lee Douglas. According to Danny Kavanagh, quote, this song's about letting go of love and moving on. Even though you want to make a final statement, it's a final statement of love, blessing somebody and about moving past that, but still stating how beautiful your feelings are. You can't hold on too much to somebody. You have to let them be who they are. If you really love somebody, you let them be themselves. That's the whole idea. You have to let go. If somebody is not going to feel what you want from them, you must let go. So I guess you're going to take the high road here, which I've done oftentimes in life, and a few times I haven't. So I'll have the lyrics up as always. Untouchable Part 1. Obviously, the beauty in this is just the soundscape. It goes so perfectly with the subject matter of the song, and it is about just letting go, right? And I feel like I knew you before, and I guess that you can hear me through this song. She's not there anymore. And my love will never die, and my feelings will always shine. He repeats that line quite a few times. I know you just want me to belong to someone, and I guess now that I'll just be moving on to someone. So that's kind of a cold line, kind of hurts, right? You want me to belong to someone, just not you. But my love will never die, my feelings will always shine. I've never betrayed your trust. I've never betrayed your faith. I'll never forsake your heart. I'll never forget your face. There's a feeling I can't describe. There's a feeling I cannot hide because I've never seen a light that's so bright and the light that shines behind your eyes. Why has this person left this man? He's saying all the right things, man. I can see this life and what you mean to me. And when I dreamed of you. Then I wake. Tell me, what could I do? And then the way it ends. So he goes through this stuff, and the way it ends is, I had to let you go to the setting sun. I had to let you go and find a way back home. I had to let you go to the setting sun. I had to let you go to find a way back home. So he's letting this person go. Not a ton instrumentally here. Wetly Holt on drums. Never seen that name in my life. And then we got, acoustic and electric keyboards, and then some programming in there, which I think is a little bit of the backing that you hear on there. But a really good song. Now we're going to move on to the only song I know on here, although I didn't know it was this song, because we did a song reaction, I think, for Joseph. Untouchable Part 2. So Untouchable Part 1, Untouchable Part 2. I don't have any idea anything about this song. Let's check it out. Untouchable Part 2. Of course, you had Vincent on lead vocals there, along with Lee Douglas. Lee Douglas is a female, by the way, if you haven't figured that out. So I think she adds a lot to this, and the song is obviously, for me at least, a continuation. It doesn't always mean they are, right, when you got part 2s of songs, but a lot of repetition of words in their lyrics so far in the first 2 songs, but it works because it drives the emotion down. It's not repeating just to fill up a song, right? Why should I feel this way? Why should I feel this way? Why should I feel the same? It's something I cannot say. It's something I cannot say. It's something I can't explain. So I feel you outside at the edge of my life. I see you walk by, at the edge of my sight. Why should I follow my heart? Why should I fall apart? Why should I follow my dreams? Why should I be at peace? So you can either see this as him singing to her still because she doesn't want to be there anymore, or her singing to him, look, I don't feel it. Why should I feel obligated to be with you? I feel you outside at the edge of my life. I see you walk by at the edge of my sight. I had to let you go to the setting sun. Going back to that, I had to let you go and find a way back home. When I dream, all I see is you. And then repeats with 3 lines followed by 3 other lines, like a repetition. I've never seen a light that's so bright, blinded by the light that's inside. And at the very end, blinded by the light that's inside you. So just a beautiful way to start this album off with Untouchable Part 1 and Untouchable Part 2. Now we'll go to by far the shortest song on here, The Gathering of the Clouds. The Gathering of the Clouds, once again, you had Lee and Vincent singing on it, but they were singing at the same time, right? Different things, counterpointing each other. It works so well together. And it shows you how 2 people are in totally different places, right? It helped to get that through, not only in the lyrics, but also in the way they were delivered. And I haven't talked about too much about the instrumentation. Musicianship on here is gorgeous. You get lost in the soundscape, but it's not over the top. Really, the most beautiful part of these songs are the vocals and the way that the melody of everything. Search the whole world, found I can't compare. And then we just get into this, but we're here because we're here. Search the whole night long, and there's nothing to fear. No, there's nothing to fear, but we're here because we're here. Found out what's been going wrong, and there's nothing to fear. And then time is what it would seem. All that I've seen, all that I feel, all I can be is happening to me. The life we live is like a dream. Kind of goes through that. Search the whole world, fight for what you believe in, dare to live your dream. Found I can't compare. Search for the whole night long. Time is not what it would seem. The life we live is a dream. What love, reveal what I feel. That's how it kind of ends. What I feel, what I feel, what I feel. So a really well done song that fits so far with the theme of this album. Now we go to the 4-track Lightning Song, which is going to be Lee all by herself on lead vocals. Lightning Song, just a beautiful song. Now, when I do research for albums, I look at Wikipedia, I'll look at interviews, I'll look at, Metacritic, AllMusic. I'll look at some different things. But I won't look at what people interpret the album. I'll look at critics' reviews. It's different. So there's a website that I look at sometimes for stuff like this, and I just glanced at it while this song was going on. I was paying attention to the song, and I'd already read all the lyrics to get their take. And their take's different than mine. That's why I don't read them, and I don't change my take. But my take could definitely be wrong. But, it's all a continuation. This whole album so far for me is just all thematic, all a continuation. So now it's just Lee singing. Lightning splits the sky, shining blinding white. And here I lie almost asleep, reckoning in a place of peace. And I feel I found my place in time and space, and hope and faith and love I give. My mind is clear. I have no fear. I shed no tears for you, my dear. Now, another person who I'm reading their take online, it's an article, it's a website. They say that she's moving on from him after he left her. I think she left him, but she's just saying now, you've kind of put this guilt trip on me. Now I am moving on, but I could be wrong about that. This world is wonderful, so beautiful, if only you can open up your mind and see. Your world is everything you ever dreamed of, if only you can open up your mind and see. So I think she's telling him, whose heart broke, look, the beauty that is here. Or she's telling herself, I don't know. And maybe the next song will shed a little more light on that. No pun intended, but it is Weather Systems, right? So we have Sunlight. Now this one, you have Daniel singing lead vocals on. Sunlight, great acoustic work on that one from Daniel Cavanaugh, who's singing lead vocals on this. And also great drumming from John Douglas. So this is the beauty of a reaction, especially on a thematic album, as I'm trying to weave stuff out. Okay, so I went back and looked at Untouchable Part 1, and it is Lee that's singing the part about being broke up with, so I guess he did leave her. See, in my mind, I wanted to make the female the villain for once, right? It's always the guy. Sorry about that. So I think the guy did leave her, so now it makes me change my perspective on how I was looking at Untouchable Part 2. But either way, when there's heartache and heartbreak and a broken relationship, both of you have some of the same feelings. Oftentimes, it's just that the person that does the breaking up has already dealt with those feelings, right? They've already gone there in their mind and they already got peace with it. Then they break up with the other person who never saw it coming. So while it looks like they're in 2 different places, they are, but the person who did the breaking up had already went through all those emotions. I think that's lost on people sometimes. They just already decided, hey, I'm out. They just waited a little while to do it. They were already over it and they exited. But this song, I'm not sure exactly what it's about. Sunlight in a billion dreams that are lost in one. Moonlight in spite of all you've seen. There's only one way out. Say you will in a billion dreams that are lost in one. Love me until I leave the world. Say you will. In spite of all you've seen, there's only one way out. Love me until I leave the world. So a little abstract, and I think it's all right to break up the album with a little bit of abstractness right there. Now we're going to a song keeping with, obviously, the weather themes. We got The Storm Before the Calm. We're back to having Vincent and we on here, and obviously it seems like it's self-explanatory. Let's check it out. The Storm Before the Calm, definitely the proggiest song on here. I know this thing is defined as prog rock. I'm not sure that I see it quite that way, but this song definitely is almost 10 minutes long. I liked it. I didn't love it, but it's probably maybe necessary for the narrative of the album. I thought the instrumentation on there was interesting and varied, like you would get more so on a prog than kind of the beautiful melodic stuff you've had before this. And the thing on this song is, I don't know if this person's dying, because that's what it sort of seems like, and some people interpret that way. But if it's a storm before the calm, maybe you're dying and then you're calm once you're in the afterworld. Or are you so heartbroken that you got to go through all of this garbage, right? And then you come out the other side and you're like, okay, I'm calm now. I made it through. I would interpret it more that way just because of the way the album has gone. But I mean, maybe these next 3 songs are going to let me know whether that's the right take or not. So we got the beginning and the end. This one you just got Vincent singing on. All right, the beginning and the end. Once again, I'm not sure. Is this guy dying? I know if you know this album, you're talking back to me and I can't hear you, man. It's probably obvious, but is he dying? Or is he so depressed that he's going down a very dark hole? He says, and somewhere inside is the key to everything I want to feel, but the dark summer dawns of my memory are lost in a place it can never be. Can someone please show me the way? Can someone please help me? Because I cannot see, and the silence is raging. Is that because he's dying? Or because he's so depressed he can't see anything else? And then it just ends with silence. Silence, fade into silence. Memory, memory. Inside is the key to a memory. I don't know, man. I don't know. Hopefully these next 2 songs, and maybe it's supposed to be, who knows? Maybe it's supposed to be that way. Got a couple long ones on the last 2. We got The Lost Child. This is back to being Daniel and Vincent on lead vocals here. The Lost Child. First off, Daniel Cavanaugh really putting in overtime on this. He wrote it. He did co-lead vocals with Vincent. He also played acoustic, electric, and that beautiful piano. The piano motif has been very nice, and just the keyboards in general throughout this whole album, and I haven't mentioned it, especially at the start of songs. It really sets the atmosphere as we build into them. So now I think he's dying. I mean, it still could be save me because I'm dying. I need you to save me. I'm depressed. But adrift on a silent sea, the cold night surrounds me. Black ice forms beneath the waves of a childhood dream. A far light hypnotized. A voice calls from paradise. Paradise to hear. My light is fading now. My heart is breaking now. A child sings to me. The mists rise, blinding me. I can't find a way out of here. And the sound of angels dream that the ice breaks. I'm pulled beneath. And in the very end, save me. He said, my life is fading now. My heart is breaking now. My life is failing now. My mind is drowning now. But your hand reaches down to reach down and pull me out and save me. Save. Is he singing to her to save him from this depression because he's suicidal? Or is he really dying? Now I'm thinking he might be really dying. Let's see if the last song answers that question. We have Internal Landscapes from Vincent and Lee on lead vocals. The beginning and end of the song are extracts from a documentary called Near Death Experience with Joseph Garassi speaking. So maybe that lets me know they're almost dead. I don't know. All right, Internal Landscapes. Just a beautiful song. Obviously a little proggy on this one. Obviously, I don't want to say every time you hear voices at the start and end. I mean, we had some voices quietly on another track. This one's obviously him talking. The guy talking about his afterlife or experience. He said specifically it wasn't an out-of-body experience. I almost called it that. But obviously some Dark Side of the Moon influence there, as there is in so many things. But a really, really well done ending, right? Their vocals together are just so beautiful. Like it's such a soundscape, Vincent and Lee. I don't know. I think he's dying. But it could be that just his heart is dying or her heart is dying. Both of their hearts are dying from the broken relationship. There's a light that's so bright and I know it's you and I dream like you and I believe in truth. For I was always there and I was always there. So maybe he's dying, but he's remembering her love, or she's dying, she's remembering his. I don't know. So that's the beauty of going through these, and you guys get to see it all in a live reaction. You see me try to work this out as we go through it. And I think maybe it was left open to interpretation on purpose. I couldn't find any interviews with them. I'm sure they did on the subject of it. I just couldn't find them. So now we get to my favorite tracks. Honorable mention, I'll go with The Gathering of the Clouds, the third track. Favorite tracks, Untouchable Part 1, Untouchable Part 2, Lightning Song, and this last one, Internal Landscape. Look, there's only 9 songs. There's only one of them I didn't really care for. This is a fantastic album. I love the soundscape of it. I'm going to listen to it again with the headphones on without analyzing lyrics or anything else and just get lost in it, because that's part of the beauty of music like this. But on first listen, I'm going to be at an 8.5. I think this is fantastic, man. It's peaceful, even though it has difficult subject matter in some ways. It's just, you just vibe with it, man. So great choice by Joseph. Let me know what you think of this, guys. Let me know your favorite tracks, and let me know your interpretation of the album as you saw the old man try to work it out. So I could have went back and edited it and took one view and just made it look seamlessly, but that's not what it's like when you listen to these things the first time. So there you go. All right, guys, until next time, I will see you.